What's up guys, BltzZ here today bringing you another video. In today's video I want to piggyback off the previous one and expand on that topic a little bit. There's no secret how much I love Final Fantasy VII Remake, but of course there are some things that I would love to see changed or improved on. So I figured let's talk about some changes I personally would love to see implemented in Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2. We got some really good things in here, so trust me, you won't want to miss this. Follow along in the live chat and post in the comments below what changes you would like to see and why. I'd love to get a discussion going like we did in the previous video. Now with all that being said, let's jump into these changes. In the previous video, it was all about this one, but I want to get it out of the way and talk about it really quickly. I think chapters should be hidden until the end of the game when you unlock chapter select, mainly because for me it destroys the immersion of an RPG game, which makes your journey seem dated with each entry that they showcase. Sure, yes, all stories do feature chapters, but the constant reminder that, oh, you are now in chapter 14, or now you're on chapter 15 is a mental letdown in my opinion. Especially when there's tons of media outlets that go out there and spoil how many chapters will be in a certain game well before it's even released. And your goddamn phone notifies you of it even though you never Google or look those things up. Thank you so much, Google Alerts. I really appreciate that, by the way. No, but seriously, I don't ever look up reviews or spoilers on games. I really just want to play them for myself. That's just always been a part of who I am. So basically, Square, if you could hide the chapters at least until the end of the game when we unlock chapter select, that would be greatly appreciated as it helps us return to various areas and complete objectives or unlock trophies without having to replay the entire game from the very beginning. I'm looking at you, best bromance trophy from Final Fantasy VII Original. Seriously, that shit took forever. This next one on the list, I think we can all agree on that when it comes to switching characters, it gets really annoying when you have to rearrange your materia. That is only going to get multiplied even further in Remake Part 2 with all the new materia and characters that we're about to get. So I think a great addition to the equipment system would be to have custom classes created for specific materia loadouts, which we can swap in and out on various characters. This sort of already exists in Remake Part 1, but we can move the materias on one by hitting the R1 button in the main menu to bring up all the character loadouts. However, creating a preset class for specific builds would be more ideal in my opinion if they could figure out a way to make it work. In the original Final Fantasy VII, the exchange menu worked this way, which I only recently found out about last month during our livestream playthrough. It allows you to swap materials by the slots on the weapons as well, which is a bit finicky, but it still works if both characters have the same amount of materia slots present. This next one is a bit JRPG taboo because not many games come to mind that allows you to do this, but I would love it if we could swap Cloud out of the party and focus on a unique team of our choice, such as Tifa, Red 13, and Aerith. We can already do this in VR challenges, which is pretty cool, minus Red 13, but ultimately there are so many team dynamics we're missing out on in the original game because we're stuck with Cloud as the party leader for most of the game. Now, it can be argued that it would be weird if Cloud was not in the main story cutscenes because of this, but I think if all cutscenes were still portrayed showing Cloud in the party or all members are present, this could work out very well. In Remake Part 1, we were able to walk around and have small segments playing as other characters besides Cloud, which was pretty cool, but if we could explore the open world like this entirely, I think it would be a great addition to this game. One of the major things everyone loves about Final Fantasy VII specifically are the characters. So many of us love these characters, and hearing how they all interact with each other while allowing us to customize that would provide for possibly the most unique battle dialogue and overall different playthroughs for everyone, at least somewhat. The voice actors and dialogue for Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1 has brought these characters to life, and I know I'm not speaking for myself by saying this, but this cast of voice actors really steal the show and make me care more for these characters than I did before. Like John Eric Bentley, who plays Barrett. This dude steals the show, and that's not disrespecting any of the other actors in any way because they all do very well. It's just for me, when I was a kid, Barrett was kind of boring and came off as a huge stereotype. But John really brings a whole new element to him. That plate collapse scene though. And I just can't wait to see what that scene is going to be like when him and Dyne actually meet, if you know what I'm talking about. And Aerith for me was never my favorite, but Brianna White absolutely changes how I feel about her in this game. Aerith has so much more personality, she's witty, and brings a smile to your face whenever she's mocking Cloud. If you guys could swap out Cloud and set up your very own party out of the entire roster, who would it be? Mine would be Tifa, Vincent, and Red 13. Let me know yours in the comments below and why. In Remake Part 2, we're going to be getting more characters to join the party with Yuffie, Cait Sith, and hopefully, fingers crossed, Vincent and Cid. One thing I hated about the original Final Fantasy VII was that while your main party forms and goes on missions, the rest of the members just leave and go on and do their own thing and don't even join you. There are so many combinations you can have just playing with all of them, but in the original game you can only focus on 2 members, besides Cloud, at a time. You then had to use the PHS to swap out members and redo the materias for those 2 members. However, what if Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 were to follow a similar party battle system like Final Fantasy X? In Final Fantasy X, you could bring in any character to the fight and swap characters out back and forth. This is a great dynamic for me, which is more realistic and makes more sense in my opinion. The rest of the party members would not just disappear and head off into the next town without you like they do in the original game. The squad would roll deep and clap everyone's cheeks, like in the Advent Children movie. This also could provide for some insane team combos. Imagine Tifa launching an enemy upwards into the air, swapping in Vincent to start doing some crazy gold claw gun kata combos, then Sid comes out of nowhere onto the enemy and just pins them into the ground, staggering them, and then you can switch Cloud back in to jump in and finish the job from where Sid left off. I know this sounds like it can be a lot, but we're talking about next gen, guys. We're more capable of implementing these things even if Final Fantasy X had it somewhat from back in the early 2000s. I've been talking my subscribers' ears off about this one, but I really think this would change the game up for the better. Imagine if we could have a co-op system in place for Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2, whether it be co-op VR missions or story co-op related missions. There are 3 members active in parties at the same time. What if we could have other friends jump into the party and take control of specific characters? Square wouldn't have a hard time implementing this since they already have a strong MMO background with Final Fantasy XIV. We could take on a new aggro system like the MMO, and this could even be one of the greatest story mode games ever released if we did have co-op. Couch co-op would be hard to implement because of the way the camera system works, but online co-op of 2 to 3 players could very well be a thing. And who knows, maybe they'd even consider bringing in 4 players to the party, but nah, that would actually be too broken, especially with how the Materia system is for this game. But if it's not to be in the story, at least make it a co-op thing in VR. Imagine how fun this would be on stream. Each player on our stream would select a character that they want, have their own Materias leveled up and specifically laid out. This could work like how Gotham Knights or Avengers is going to be, minus the fact that Avengers is a live service game, of course. Just close your eyes and visualize this with me. Do you guys currently have goosebumps? Let me know what you think about this one in the comments below because this is a very big game changer. In Remake Part 1, some of the most useful Materias are some of the very new and introduced purple Materias, such as Deadly Dodge, Parry, Skill Master, ATB Assist, etc. They all change the way the game plays and the mechanics function. These are super important to specific character builds and they're really vital to how some characters play, like how Parry and Deadly Dodge are almost a mandatory thing for my personal style of the way I play Tifa. However, because of this, they take up so many Materia slots where you could instead just have an entirely new and unique build. I think in Remake Part 2, some of these Materias can actually be implemented as passive abilities for certain characters, such as Skill Master, which causes every 3 unique spells or abilities that are used to refill your ATB for yourself and teammates. It's not exactly the easiest for newer players to pull off or understand, but making this a passive for everyone or at least one specific character would actually provide a lot of dynamic when selecting who is in your party. Imagine that being a thing towards co-op as well. Oh my god, that actually would work very amazingly, because this could free up so much Materia space and allow you to be even more creative, especially with the large amounts of Materia that we're going to be stumbling on and unlocking in the open world segments of Remake Part 2. Maybe we could work out some new mechanics with Chadley, but please Square Enix, please hear me out on this one. This could be a real game changer and contribute to how you form your party, making you think about which characters will actually benefit the others, thanks to the purple Materias that we mentioned before becoming passive abilities instead. The next one is pretty short and straightforward, but the option to having alternate costumes for characters would be pretty awesome. There are so many cool, unique outfits for characters within the Final Fantasy VII compilation, as well as other games that they have appeared in. But having DLC skins as maybe Tifa's Advent Children outfit or the mature or, sporty dress, that would be pretty awesome, I'm not gonna lie. Or Cloud's Advent Children outfit, or even his Kingdom Hearts look too, which was pretty badass. Or even fun skins like Barrett's Sailor outfit or Cloud's Shinra Infantryman skin too. These could be monetary paid for items, but trust me, I damn well be okay with this, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are too. Square, if you really want to make money, hire me, trust me, I got tons of these ideas. Now when you beat Final Fantasy VII Remake, all that's left of course is to replay it on hard mode and complete the VR mission challenges. And after that, there really isn't anything else left to focus on. However, many of the talented speedrunners have been pushing on through and fighting against the various bosses and timing themselves doing so. But in Remake Part 1, you have to play through a whole chapter to get to a boss, then create a save point there so you can revisit as many times as you want. I think when we beat the game, we should unlock a boss attack mode in VR where we can play against any boss that we want, or even a boss survival mode for the ultimate challenge. And if you want to go even further beyond that, maybe even add some type of form of free DLC that we can actually play against other types of enemies that aren't even in the game, or just create new challenges. Square, the rooms where VR missions are taking place have infinite potential, and you could really pull some crazy cool things off, especially with co-op. Think about it, Square. Trust me, co-op I think is the way to go. Okay, I lied to you guys. To my subscribers, this is the most mentioned thing that you guys know about me, and that is aerial combat needs to be adjusted. Trust me, I find it fun with Tifa when she's in her Chi level 3. She can pull off some insane, cool looking combos. But the enemies in the air also have super armor, and with one hit, it knocks your character completely out of the air. This can get super annoying, especially when you don't have Aerith or Barret in the party and it's just Cloud and Tifa. Cloud only slashes the enemies 3 times in the air and it doesn't even do that much damage. I get it, we have to switch to our range characters or even use our range magic attacks, but the tracking on aerial attacks should not be this bad. Tifa will be mid-air hitting enemies with crazy combos and they could just literally fly away and Tifa will be struggling trying to catch up with them and stay locked onto them. The same can be said for Cloud as well. If we could track enemies better in the air, give characters more combo hits in the air, I think we're good on that aspect. Now don't get me wrong, I'm sure this is something that they are definitely working on because not just for me, but there are tons of complaints on this subject. I mean damn, in Advent Children and even cutscenes for Final Fantasy VII Remake, Cloud does some pretty wild combos while in the air and it just got me scratching my head like damn. I get we don't have a jump button, but man, come on, let us do some of that cool stuff, please. In the original Final Fantasy VII, there was a cool mechanic that where once you mastered a materia and fully leveled it up, you unlocked a second version of that materia. So if you master any materia, whether it be an all materia, restore materia, or even a summon materia, you can unlock duplicates this way. Now granted, this probably did not happen in Remake because we don't really master any materia until we get to the gold saucer portion of the story, but we still got some mastered max levels in Remake Part 1. I'm just hoping that this is the case because of Chadley's artificial materia creation and it being limited in this aspect. I just hope that the open world brings on more of these original games mechanics with the newer materia. It would also be awesome to grind out those levels and just have a full entire set for everyone. And finally, the last change I would like to have is to have the summon materias equipable in any materia slot like in the original game. In the original game, summons like Hades could be paired with added effect to create a dangerous combo. This is not possible in Remake because there's only one slot where summons can actually be featured. This is most likely done on purpose to give us more space and to not let our summon materias take up a lot of slots. But hopefully, again, this is an artificial materia issue that Chadley is working out still, and in Remake Part 2, we're going to be able to equip summons however and wherever that we want. In addition to that, since we will have a larger environment and be on next gen, maybe we can have the ability to summon the larger summon monsters at will in any fight. In the original game, we don't even get our first summon until after we leave Midgar, so this is really not that big of a deal. I'm sure that we have workarounds for this. Pairing specific materials to summons overall can be a very interesting build to work on too. I can't wait to fully explore in the next game and see what we get in terms of newer mechanics. Square Enix, if you're watching this, please do the co-op one. Trust me, that would shatter sales records for you guys if people could do co-op in this game. And that wraps it up for this video, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about these changes. Do you agree with me on some of these or do you prefer other changes? Let's get a discussion going in the comments below and let me know what you guys would like to change or add into Remake Part 2. The possibilities are endless for what we can expect to be added in Remake Part 2, but I do hope co-op is somewhat a thing that they could really put together. I have a lot of fun playing this game on stream for you guys and making videos, trust me, but spending hours in co-op with all of you guys on live stream to me would be a dream come true for all of us actually on the channel. That to me is the biggest thing that I'd love to have added into this game. I know it's a bit of a large request, but hey man, I mean, this is an absolute game changer for the series, and ultimately, it'd make the replayability skyrocket even further beyond. Shoutouts to the members on the channel, and you guys are the real MVPs. Thank you for holding it down with different tiers. You guys are awesome. If you have not yet, be sure to join our memberships. We currently need 13 more members in order to start the giveaway for our channel. Once we reach that 100 total members number, we will be giving away our very first merch for free to that winner, as well as a choice of me buying any game for them as long as it's the standard edition. Our very first merch is going to be a t-shirt of your size with our YouTube channel's new banner on it. You won't want to miss out on this, so join our memberships today and get access to our channel exclusive emojis, Discord titles, and a super sick Materia loyalty badge next to your name on every comment that you leave here. Also, being a member gives you 2 entries into the giveaway, so you definitely want to increase your chances by doing that. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you are new. More Final Fantasy VII Remake videos are coming your way and you won't want to miss them. My name is BltzZ, and thanks for watching.